The Electoral Office. I have something on my chest and I think it's time to get it off. Let me remind you of these 4 things first and foremost. 1. I'm far from perfect. I've made my full share of mistakes in life, and I have moved on by the grace of God. 2. I wish to remain as humble as possible, hoping never to think that I'm better than anyone. 3. I hate long posts, but this is necessary. And 4. I have no interest in politics, so please don't mix me up in it, and please don't think that this post is political. As a matter of fact, let me say that I don't even think the politicians have a clue as to what is going on. So having gotten that out of the way, let me say this: I usually don't bother myself with people, and especially the mischievous ones, but sometimes I wonder how people can live with themselves and their consciences after all they do to try to make other people's lives a living hell. This woman, who has a problem with everybody including herself and chats everybody on a daily basis, will have her well-deserved time to tell a magistrate all of the things she knows about me and all that I did while working at the Electoral Office. Imagine the same people who talk about you behind your back in a derogatory way, wanted me to do things outside the electoral laws, and once I refused to, it became a big problem to them. One comment I made in the office, and I repeated in a meeting with the supervisor of elections, that had people ticked off was, people use the former staff used to do corruption and we seem to be going down the same road. Who tell me say that? But I said that because of things we were forced to do or asked to do and refused to, and of course you would become the enemy. Once I stood up, I could see the difference. She started back talking me every chance she got, and it never stopped, and even after almost 1.5 years of leaving, the devil still has her going. When I hear these things, the most I say to those persons is that I don't even remember this woman until I see her wobbling through town. Some of the things said are that I was trying to take over the office. Really? That office? Because of her lack of knowledge on most things pertaining to the office, as not to get more confused, I would call the head office in St. Kitts to confirm that what we were doing was in keeping with the policies and rules they outlined to us. She has reported all sorts of lies to those above her and no one made any efforts to find out the truth, but God knows. I think slowly, they are beginning to see who she really is. Even after letters and meetings, and telling the supervisor of elections what the problems at the office were, instead of looking into things from a professional standpoint, he only saw what was beneficial politically by joining her in an effort to destroy me, but that's okay. I took it all with a smile and reported to work every day. One day in July 2017, I went for lunch, and when I returned, I saw a handwritten note on my desk that asked me to report to the PS that said afternoon. With not much said or asked, I was told that I was to be transferred. Yes, a handwritten note was left on my desk. That's what we've come to now, just to prove what I've said about her lack of professionalism. After 1.5 years of leaving the office, I'm hearing that I used to take documents out of the office. Only God knows. When I left that office at afternoons, I didn't want to remember a thing about that place, because of the political stigma attached to it, so for me to take home Electoral Office documents. She thinks that I would take bribe from the opposition. Well, I neither did for them nor for you. I heard she said she caught me going in her purse. Even if I wanted to, with the sight of her daily surroundings, that would have discouraged me, so please, but to see a person stoop that low to defame me to get her wishes. Heaven help us. I heard she said that I was always up by Hector's office. Okay, and I wonder why the same person who thought/thinks of me the way still wanted me to do things that were wrong at that said office, like register people who didn't have the proper documents, and that wasn't a one-time incident. I wonder if we know how important a government-issued ID is. It is not something to be played with at all. I wonder if the same people she talks to know the dirty things she said about them, because that's her nature, but believe her if you want to, because you might accompany her to court. Final warning. We always seem to think we know everything about everyone, but get this, Everybody knows something about everybody. The difference between the wise and the fools is that the fools have to tell everybody everything they think they know.